Our flashcard app works perfectly until you refresh. Everything goes, no persistence, no authentications. So, but before I start coding, I did something different now. I brainstormed with the cursor to design my authentication and perfect database. Today, you will see my entire thought process, how I ask question and do the questioning and reasoning with the cursor to build the solution. Let's go. I'm going to show you the whole chat history, how I did the brainstorming with the cursor. First, I did ask a couple of questions. Cursor gave me suggestions. I asked cursor to modify those suggestions, and then I asked cursor to generate some, prompts. And in the end, I use those prompts to get the work done. So yeah, so let's jump into this. So the first question I did ask, you can see here I'm asking question related to persistent authentications. I'm asking question like how I can add persistent authentications. Give me some recommendations. So what cursor is doing is it is reading my whole code base and then suggesting me the architecture. It's suggesting me like you can use Postgres with the Prisma. That's the recommended architecture. Why? It's type safety because I'm using type, so it's suggesting like you can use the TypeORM. It is has good migration support. I'm using NextJS, which works well with the NextJS, and then it's saying like okay, it's support complex relationships as well. Alternative, it is also saying that you can use MongoDB with the Mongoose. It's simpler if you prefer NoSQL. So right now I will go with the Postgres. There are some relationships, so I'm thinking it's good. So then the next thing is related to authentication. Is saying let's introduce JWT with passport. Why? Stateless, scalable, works well with the Next.js, secure with the refresh tokens. So he's suggesting me to create a custom solution where I can integrate JWT based authentications and local strategy for email passwords. Yeah, okay. So now next step is it's giving me some database schema design. See, it's giving me the whole thing which I need as a developer. So if you're a developer, it's very much going to be interesting for you. So here you see it's giving me all the entities, like you need user entity, flashcard sets. So it's designing me whole database here, right? And then it's saying how you can implement step by step. It's saying first we need to set up a database. Okay, so then it's saying you need to set up Prisma, initialize Prisma. So if you want to learn like Prisma, so you can follow these guidelines and learn like okay, if I need to configure Prisma, I need this package, and then I need some schema files. And you can go ahead and ask us like why we need this schema file in the Prisma, what is the pattern. So this way you can learn like Prisma as well. So yeah, it will create Prisma service. Okay, saying like we need to do these steps, and then for authentication saying we need to set up these packages and then create a Auth module. So yeah, it's completely custom solution, which is suggesting. Then it's saying let's integrate the flashcard persistence, and then obviously it is creating some endpoints, and yeah, then there is a front-end integration. Okay, and security considerations, and this is the file structure it's giving me, right? And then there will be some environment variables. So the whole thing is suggesting me like these are the things that you need to do in order to integrate the flashcards. Says let's start with the phase one. So it's giving me multiple phases. In phase one you need to we will set up some database. In phase two we will do authentications. Phase three, phase four. So it's not asking me to go in one go and then eventual task. It's suggesting me some phases, right? Next, what I am going to like next question I am saying I want to use Supabase database. Here you see, and for authentications I don't want to use custom user management system. There are many built-in user management systems available, and they are freely available for starting projects, like for the learning projects, or maybe if it is a very small scale project they do offer free tier as well for them. So yeah, so I don't want to build custom solutions for now, so I can go ahead and use those solutions. So I'm asking him those suggestions here. So see here, now it's saying okay, it's giving me no recommendation as per my questions query. Saying okay, let's set up the Supabase database. It's saying like okay, we have free tire available, you can use that, and these are the things that we need to. And it's saying okay, we need to create client-side authentications, quick setup for the Supabase. Okay, right. Server-side authentications also you can use that as well. There are multiple. It's giving me multiple options. Option A is speedy, since I can go with that as well. But yeah, let's see. And then for the database schema, it's suggesting me we need some as per Supabase, it's suggesting me some changes as well. Okay, and then obviously now it's changed the whole implementation step that it's suggested me earlier. It says okay, let's set up the Supabase in this way. See here. And then in the front end as well, like it's suggesting me directly we store our data from the front end. For the authentication, again it's saying okay, we can validate the availability authentication that was generated by Supabase. He is creating Supabase auth card. Says update flashcard service to save the Supabase. Okay, yeah, the whole journey has been changed, which was introduced earlier. And then so yeah, so the environment variables are going to be changed, which it suggested me different. Now it's different. So yeah, so now I'm saying like I don't want to use Supabase as a authentication provider. I want to use Supabase as a only for database provider. That's it. Because Supabase is eventually a PostgreSQL, and it does provide free tire as well. So it's a good option for me. I want to use it, but I don't want to use it for authentication maybe. So yeah, so now it's suggesting me some other options, which what we have, like Clerk option, Clerk. So Clerk, yeah, I that's what I like it. It's very easy to integrate. It does provide out of the base box many integrations and UI as well. And then we have open source option as well, which is NextAuth.js, and then Firebase Auth as well. So yeah, I will go with Clerk plus Supabase. Yeah, I will go with this. That's what I'm going to do. This is the architecture now. It's suggesting me the whole changes you can see here, and then saying how we can set up in the front end. So yeah, see here, it's suggesting me the whole different story now. In the third step, now it's giving me some different implementation steps, the basis of the discussion I did with the cursor. You see, it's giving me some comparison as well here, right? So I can easily do and compare those things and see what's good for me. For me, like I need fast integration, pre-built UI components, good free tire, and works well with Supabase. Yeah, all these things is fine for Clerk integration. So now eventually in the end, I am asking, give me two prompts, set up the database, and second one is to set up the Clerk as integration. So it's giving me those two prompts. Sorry, I reviewed all these prompts, and after review I thought like okay, the database setup prompt is not up to the mark. There were some changes I suggested to do in the prompt. One is for sure I want to use Prisma, but in a way I can easily replace Supabase with any other PostgreSQL provider, right? And it modify the prompt for me, right? Now prompt is ready to use for the cursor. Like I can copy paste this prompt and ask cursor to integrate the change, and then I can test. So yeah, two prompts are available now, but there is something is missing, which is front end prompt. So I forgot to ask generate the front end prompt where I can integrate those changes that it is suggesting me as part of the prompt. If you see here, it's introducing some APIs which are related to flashcard sets, to store them, to retrieve them, and to return them as a list. but those things are not available. If you remember in my video, I just created some basic UI. So now I ask as a third prompt, I'm asking give me the prompt to integrate these backend changes into front end as well. See here, front end as well to integrate the, so it's just give me the third prompt as well. See, so I completely brainstorm my whole idea with the cursor and ask cursor to give me the exact prompt that I can use for the agent to implement those changes. Now I know what is going to be implemented. I have all the prompts. I will copy paste those prompts and in 3 phases and integrate things step by step. First, I will introduce the database, integrate the database. Second step, I will do the authentication. The third step, I will do the front end integrations. In my next video, I will be doing the database integration first. Subscribe my channel to see next part where I will be integrating the database changes. Thank you.